Recently, I found some interest in looking at the entire line of McDonald's LEGO Bionicle toys. In September of 2001, LEGO would partner with McDonald's to release the Maturin. Before I keep going, I'd like to thank LEGO CPA and Fernbrickles for making it easy to acquire the Maturin so quickly. I've chatted with CPA countless times about Bionicle lore and different rare set findings. Fernbrickles also has a brick link which I will link in the description. So I know that most people, when they think of McDonald's toys, they think of something really low quality and molded around a single solid piece of plastic. Well, that's actually not the case here. All of the Tahungas here are made of the standard plastic that LEGO uses in actual sets, which is surprising because there have been a handful of McDonald's toys by LEGO that actually use real pieces. Most of them, like this Baraki figure, are just one solid assembly with very limited posability. It's pretty cool that once in a while LEGO would release these really premium toys into polybags and distribute them to McDonald's. Personally though, I'm pretty detached from any memories of these figures coming out, mostly because they were produced a couple years before I was even born. From what I read though, the Maturin were a pretty big deal because they were used as part of the marketing strategy to introduce kids at the time to Bionicle, which had only launched in December of 2000 for Europe and June of 2001 in the US and Canada. So let's actually talk about the Maturin. We have Jawler, Maku, Kongu, Heuki? I don't know how to say that name. Onepu and Matoro, all of which share a mask with their Toa counterparts with the exception of Maku for some reason. Well, anyway, they all come with a throwing disc with their respective masks printed onto them. The only thing I really don't understand with the discs is the gimmick of placing them on the backs of the Maturin. The connection is really loose. I don't know if it's because these figures are over 20 years old and they're losing their clutch, or if it's just how it's supposed to be, but I find that the discs fall off pretty easily, so it's not really fun to display them in this way. I wanted to take a closer look underneath the masks of the Maturin because they look way different than the way that the Toas are produced. The one thing that I prefer with the Toa faces is the definition of the eyes with the transparent brainstalk pieces. The Maturin just has one solid piece that lacks definition in the eyes. There's probably a way to mod a Toa head onto them, but I'd prefer to just display them as they were intended. So while we're talking about the Maturin, I don't know if you know much about Bionicle lore, but I'll just give you a surface level explanation about what the Maturin are. They're basically villagers who live on Mata Nui that take on the tasks of everyday people. They are the inhabitants of the island and are significantly smaller than the Toa. They are seen throughout the Mata Nui online game and are referenced as either the Tahunga or the Maturin. Interestingly, these phrases can be used interchangeably because the Tahunga name, along with a couple of other proper noun names like Jawler, were retconned due to an appropriation issue with LEGO naming their products with the use of the Maui people's language. It's very rare that you see LEGO get hit with a blunder of this scale, mostly because LEGO takes their brand image very seriously. Naming Day was inserted into the story to correct these issues without breaking the continuity. I won't be going too much into detail with the lore behind the Maturin. It's definitely a more thoughtful approach to McDonald's Happy Meal toys, and it's something that I think that LEGO should consider bringing back in the current age, but with a more modern spin on a new theme.